Style fades, elegance doesn't. For over a century, P. N. Rao has been dressing generations with this thought. Now, let's meet the man who's taking this legacy forward, the stylish icon, Mr. Naveen Pishe. Welcome to Icons Unplugged, Mr. Naveen.
Yeah, hi Faiz. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, part of the Icon podcast.
You're looking fantastic. Is it because you're wearing P. N. Rao?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what else would I wear? Yeah, I mean, just to expand on it, what I'm wearing today is a Shahariana. It's an off-take, an extension of what was earlier known as a safari, a little bit more stylish. It's very light to wear and well suited for the summer. You can also wear it in the evening if you want. Maybe just put on a darker shirt, and it's got some style, little embellishments like a sash and things like that. And yeah, that's what it is.
To me, it is a symbol of how stylish and timeless you are and brand P. N. Rao, despite the time. Like, it could be a 100-year-old brand, but it is as relevant as one, can be.
Yeah, I mean, P. N. Rao has been around for 100 years, and it's largely due to the, persistence of the people who are behind it. And, we've got a great team also working behind it. And of course, the credit goes to, for my grandfather for starting it, 103 years ago. And then my uncle and my dad and my dad's younger brother. And today it's me and my cousin Ketan who are taking it forward. Hopefully the fourth generation comes in as well.
Fantastic. Yeah. So did you always knew that you would be taking it forward? I mean, was there always, that, probably you wanted to get into this business, or probably initially you must have felt that, you wanted to do something? Because I have met a lot of entrepreneurs, and at one point of time they felt that, they should start something on their own. But then when they see that, there is a brilliant business which is there, they want to make it bigger.
Not for me. For me, it was like right from the day I was a small kid, I was always been told in around the family that, you have to take over the business. And, my dad would take me along to the store. My grandfather would take me to the store. And those days, there was a lot of time. There was not much of TV. So a lot of discussion at home would revolve around the business and things like that. And so, I was also very keen. And in fact, during my schooling days, my uncle, whose first daughter stayed in the US, he was the master cutter, and he went away for 6 months.
Wow.
And I think that was my true induction into the business. I was hardly 15 years old, and probably lesser than 15 years old. And for 6 months, I used to finish school and go to the store every day. Mm-hmm. And spend time at the store, understand what was happening. And I think from that day, I loved it. I had that entrepreneurial streak in me from when I was a kid. I ran a makeshift library from our home and many other such activities I would always be interested in. And that's why, it was a no-brainer for me. And the moment I finished my degree, I think March 30th or something, we finished our exam. I took a 3 or 4 day break. And the next Monday, I started work at the store. It was almost like a second home to me.
Fantastic. So craftsmanship is something which P. N. Rao has always stood out for. And when you started the business, when you got into the business, you were 15, 16-year-old. At that point of time, it was just a single store scenario, right?
Yes. So when I was 15, 16 year old, I went for 6 months, but I completely got into it when I was about 21. Mm-hmm. And it was still a single store scenario. And we had another store on Brigade Road by the name Rupasi, and my uncle was managing that. My dad's younger brother was managing that business. Mm-hmm. And but the P. N. Rao was still the main flagship and in terms of a business. And we were well known for, even at that point of time, by having one of the best clientele and the best craftsmanship and things like that. So it was an honor to be there, part of the legacy, to join the family business. It felt good to me. I felt wanted, and even the staff at that point of time was fairly welcoming to me, even though it was much smaller in size. And those days we had the store and the factory in the same space, so I could connect with the guys who were making the jacket and spend time with them as well. So that was good beginnings.
What has been the marketing magic sauce? Because in the world of Raymond and Manyavar, P. N. Rao has actually made its own place, for that matter, and created a premium space for itself. So
I see what happened was in the year 1995, when we realized that, the entire IT business was kind of hottening up in Bangalore. And all of the, top three, of course, Infosys, Wipro, TCS, all had presence in Bangalore, and it was a huge vibe, and culture was changing. And suddenly we had a lot of demand for our suits. I mean, we said, there's something going on here, and, we have to try and take advantage of it, because we really had the skill sets, we had the craftsmanship, and we had the idea of design as well. And then I thought at that point of time, when we renovated our store in 1995, we kind of made it a suit-centric kind of a brand. Where earlier, prior to 1991, when I joined business, we would sell everything under the sun. We had blankets, we had lingerie for women, we had we had everything. So when I had to kind of structure it a bit, and then so when we renovated the store and put up a new building there, I said, with all this can't happen. So we're going to focus more on suits. And at that time, we were a pretty small store, about 1,500 square feet. There was not space to do much else. So suits as a product, as a category, was quite a heavy space demanding category.
Yeah.
And then you had blazers and jackets to go along with it. So we narrowed it down to that. That's what we're going to do. And, the market responded really well. And I think that's when we realized that it's such a potential. Then we took over the second floor in sometime around 2000. And we expanded the fabric section and the ready-to-wear section as well for suits and blazers. So much so that, we couldn't manage the crowd. And then we realized that, we're sitting on something here. So in 2006, we rebranded P N RAO, which was earlier called P N RAO Menswear, had a green logo. And we said, we should, and so we hired a company called Flip, and we created a new logo, a new identity, and we also wanted to open a store in Jayanagar. So we had created a lot of thought process to how the store should be designed, what the lighting should be, and we went into a lot of detail. And while going through that, we realized that out of the many options that we had, we chose P N RAO Fine Suits since 1923.
Oh, beautiful.
And we had the herringbone logo, which is a weave, which comes from the herring fish. And we chose that logo because that logo stood for timelessness and, of course, strength. And that's how we got our logo. And we did all of that work, and we said, okay, fine suits is what it should be. And we put ourselves into that niche. So we knew that, you can't compete with the Goliath. So you had to be smart like David and, get into those kind of shoes. And I think we did really well from then on. And even the store in Jayanagar, when we opened in 2008, had an overwhelming response right from the day one. And we actually struggled to cope with the demand initially. And I think we did fairly well by, coping with it, bringing in talent and training staff to manage the people. We hired a HR company to restructure our HR department, because at that point of time, we didn't know where we were going. So, and Ketan had kind of just joined the business then. So we had to put in systems in place. So we did all of that. And I think that was really helpful. It may help us grow and put some structure to our growth. So then after that, we started marketing ourselves as Fine Suits. And I think people kind of, even till today, when they want to buy a suit or they want to buy an occasion wear, or they want to buy something, because they've got a promotion, or, they are celebrating something, they think of P N RAO.
Brilliant.
That's we've been blessed.
So this is purely a textbook on marketing and management, both, I would say. Because looking back, if you were to arrive at it, because, from a billing point of view also, suits are far more expensive than earlier, whatever products you used to sell. So it actually added to the top line and the revenue as well.
Absolutely, yeah. But that we did unknowingly. Yeah.
So modest.
Yeah.
But Mr. Naveen, you also personally have been, is it also because you personally, you love suits? I've always seen you being, having power dressing, and, you always want to be at your prim of when it comes to dressing. So isn't that also the reason why you went in that direction?
Absolutely. I mean, right from when I was 19, 20 years old, I started wearing jackets, and those days even the pub culture was there in Bangalore, and sometimes we would go to these bars, and I would always be wearing either a corduroy jacket or a linen jacket, and everybody would say, wow, you guys were always wearing such a wonderful jacket. I think from then onwards until now, nothing has changed. I still love wearing jackets. I still love dressing well. And I enjoy that process of choosing a garment in the morning and what to wear. And I paint my wife Lakshmi also at times and say, does this look good? And what do you think about this combination? And things like that. So yeah, I've always enjoyed dressing well.
So one secret we got to know today is that your wife is your personal designer.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, I always like to take opinions from her especially. Yeah.
Brilliant. So give us some hacks about how to dress brilliantly.
I think, it's if you look at hacks, I don't know, but I can tell you about style. See, style is something that you will have to, use your gut instincts and analyze yourself as a personality first, and then use your gut to make a choice and learn that over a period of time. So style can't be copied. You will have to evolve as a personality. And, it could be a jacket for somebody, it could be shoes for somebody, and then you take off from there. So then, with this shoe, you got to wear that kind of a trouser. And then with that kind of trouser, this shirt goes well. And then you combine that with the jacket. For me, it was jacket, and then I went down to the shoe. So today I know that I like to look at this combination. I know that I'm a more classic personality than, wearing something which is too loud. So that's me. But that may not be you, Faiz. You have to find your own style. And what N RAO can do for you is we can assist you in that process. We can help you choose. We can help you understand your personality, your shade, your what color would suit you, and what kind of garment would suit you. But style is something that you will have to pick on your own.
So style should be an extension of your personality.
Well said. Yeah,
beautiful.
You said that beautifully. Yeah, style is an extension of your personality.
So who, according to you, is the person whom you look up to? Like somebody who's the most stylish according to you?
Well, because, internationally, if you see, there's George Clooney, and then there is Will Smith. And then, of course, you got a lot of these film stars within India as well. Nothing comes to my mind right now. But largely, when you look at not generally these film personalities and things like that, you look at even people, presidents of the nations. For example, look at a guy like Putin, the kind of the stuff that he wears, the fits that he, carries himself so well. And as a personality, even though he doesn't have the height and the thing, he brings in a certain amount of presence.
There's an aura
beyond it. So you would admire all of these people to, bring in their choice of flair, as you would call it, and bring it into the room that they are in. And that's what style is all about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting, I must ask you this because suddenly after this COVID, and because of work from home, there's a lot of dressing down which has happened, like, people going across in their pajamas and t-shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there's been that, I'll wear anything which is comfortable kind of a thing. And on one hand, we have this work from home culture. And on the other hand, we have this, this billionaires, like, there's Mark Zuckerberg wearing one grey t-shirt and Steve Jobs at one point of time wanting to wear all those popular, turtlenecks. What do you think about this dressing down or, this kind of culture?
Well, it's actually started a little bit before COVID. Like you said, rightly said, there was Bill Gates who started wearing this, one type of outfit. And because he reached that level of where he was, where he is even now, he didn't want to take the time to choose an outfit in the morning and, probably lose those 10-15 minutes or put his mind to see what he's going to wear. So he chose to wear all black t-shirts and, just a couple of denims in his cupboard. But if you go back to Bill Gates' life, when he was young, he was probably the most well-dressed man.
Yeah, very true.
He always wore a jacket. He also wore a jacket. He wore a tie. And he was dressed in suits, very elegantly dressed. And that obviously, over a period of time, when you achieve that success, probably makes sense for you to wear that.
Very true.
But now, if I am a growing, manager in my business, I can't afford to do that.
Very true.
I can afford to do that when I get there. And, little recently, I just saw, I think yesterday or yesterday, I saw Nikhil Kamath interviewing Ajay Banga
Yeah.
of World Bank. And I saw that whole interview, very nice interview. But the point I'm trying to make is Nikhil Kamath was in a shirt and Ajay Banga was in a full suit with tie. It's because he represents something and he needs to be dressed for that. Nikhil Kamath is probably been there, done that, and he didn't have to do it. So that's what it's all about. Dressing well is about dressing to the occasion. If you're going to the beach, wear shorts, don't wear a suit.
Very true.
But if you're going for a meeting that's going to get you $1 million, please dress like that. Don't try to be somebody else when you're not in that position. So if you're an employee or if you're running a business and it's a growing business, you haven't reached the pinnacle yet. So please dress accordingly.
Absolutely. In sales, we were always taught, don't dress for the job you have or the position you have. Yeah. Dress for the position you are aspiring for.
Well said. And I think that, should continue. I am not all for dressing down, to be honest with you. You have to dress to the occasion. And I think people in the last couple of years that I'm seeing that demand for tailored stuff is coming back. Demand for suits is coming back. Demand for dressing well is coming back. A lot of it is thanks to Instagram and Facebook as well, because everybody wants to look good on that. And I think it will slowly evolve, and you will also probably seeing office office dressing also changing, which still hasn't changed as yet. But that I'm also going to see that change, because you're seeing people losing jobs now, and they're going to try all that more, and then it's already going to come down to that personality again, not just his knowledge, because then at one point of time you could say that my knowledge would speak for me. But now if there are 2 or 3 guys or 10 of them having the same knowledge as you, so how are you going to change the aura in the room? So your personality needs to walk in first before your knowledge.
Fantastic.
And then your knowledge can take over, and then obviously you would probably have that coveted job, or you would get that coveted deal. That's where I'm coming from.
Now that you are here, you'd like to understand a very important thing. What are the common mistakes which you see a lot of men make while dressing up?
Well, you see, I mean, when you talking about the job seekers, because we are in the era today where losing your job is kind of become the norm. So I think these people will have to dress up well. And when they go for an interview, whether it's physical or online, they have to understand that their personality shows up first. They are their personal brand.
Very true.
And their knowledge will only come in second. And if they have a great personality, and if they're able to voice themselves well, don't forget that your outfit gives you the confidence. If you're looking good, it adds confidence. It adds confidence to your way you're going to be able to deliver your knowledge to other people who are in the front. You may have the knowledge, but how that knowledge is going to be perceived by the person sitting in front of you is where your personality comes in, where your confidence comes in. That's why my request to everybody is, please wear a jacket, and if possible, a tie and a proper shirt if you're an online interview. And if you're going on a personal interview, dress well for the occasion that you're going for. And for God's sake, on your LinkedIn profile, do not put a casual t-shirt, wear something nice.
Absolutely.
And put that picture up on your LinkedIn profile. All of this, either AI is studying you today, and trust me, all of the algorithms have got all of these things capped in them. And even if a human being is assessing you, then all the more reason why you need to be in that particular mode. So, and my friend, you don't get a second chance at a first impression.
So you're being judged all the time.
Yeah.
So all the more reasons to suit up. In fact, there's this very popular show called Suits, which actually means legal suits, but I think it's quite a wow when you look at all the blazers and the suits in that particular. So I was wanting to check with you. I mean, from an Indian point of view, for the weather we have, do those kind of suits and blazers, do they make sense? Because you see a lot of thick jackets. I mean, I have bought some to wear in, say, Kashmir, and those weather for those weather conditions doesn't suit, say, probably if I were to wear it in Bangalore or something like that. So dressing is a lot weather dependent as well.
True, but when it comes to just going back to your earlier question, when you say another thing about style is, And adding to this question of yours, let's not copy anybody else.
Mm.
Now, what works in America works in America.
So
No, America, you've got again two worlds. There's California, which is hot, and then there's New York, which is cold. And similarly in India, you have, like, for example, in Bangalore, which is a fairly cool weather, and we have stores in Chennai and Hyderabad as well. And Chennai is always hot, hotter, and hottest. But you won't believe it, the kind of response that we have in our store for suits and dressing well in Chennai. They are so aware of what is going on.
Mhm.
They're so aware of what they should wear. So obviously, when they're at home, they're wearing a lungi and a panche and a dhoti, and when it's hot. But when they go out to a function, when they go out to represent their company, they are wearing a suit in that weather of 40 degrees. Because most of the time you're in the AC files now. Your car is AC, your home is AC, your office is AC. So there's very little of walking around that you have to do.
Mhm.
And for that, you can always wear a different outfit. When you want to go shopping, we're not asking you to wear a suit when you go shopping, right? But when you're representing your company, when you're representing somebody, as your family, it could be because you're in a business, you have to dress well, dress to the occasion.
Absolutely agree with you, because wearing a suit creates a huge impact, and you're perceived. They say that casual dressing, casual attitude. So it's very important to dress well to get the right attitude also.
Absolutely. And you go to a place like Dubai, which is so hot,
Hmm?
and people are dressing well there. So the same thing. So I don't think the weather today has got too much to play when you want to dress well. So weddings are happening in Udaipur at a 40 degree,
Mhm.
and people are still dressing well.
Fair point.
Okay, so this is what you want to do. I mean, you have to do.
So when the ladies wear chiffon sarees in a song, the sequence in Switzerland in Bollywood movies, so all the more reasons for us to be not so weather dependent.
Yeah, I think well said. When you go to a club in New York, it's really cold, but you see the ladies, the way they dress up, and
Mhm.
so it's not really commensurate to the weather in that sense.
That it takes me to a very important question, because I also see the ladies wing also added to P and Rao, right? I think is also something which you have ever considered.
So when we are 100 years, so we are at that point of time, as a dedication to my grandfather, who started off as a women's tailor.
Mhm.
We announced Bespoke tailoring in a couple of our stores for women.
Mhm.
And I'm happy to say that we've taken the next step now, and my wife Lakshmi, she's taken over the responsibility of fine tuning it and making it better, so that the offering is a lot better than what we're doing right now. So in about 6 months' time, you could probably have a better women's collection, women's fabrics dedicated for that, and sewing and tailoring, and even the masters will be fine tuned to women's tailoring.
What a brilliant thought it is. See, people usually consider that, probably there is like a business which is given to you on a, golden plate or a silver platter for that matter. But if you were to look at it, the business started from being a ladies tailor, and then it was purely fine suits, and then you bring back the ladies. So, business goes through a lot of time. Assuming there could be a lot of challenges which you've gone through for, maintaining a 100-year-old brand. So, what are the kind of challenges which you would have faced?
Oh, well, many challenges. Like initially, from when we wanted to, move from women's wear, my grandfather's time, to men's, there was a big gap. So, we were not known for men's tailoring at that point, as well known for men's tailoring at that point of time. So, my grandfather actually had to pivot to menswear, and that took some time to build. And meanwhile, he pitched for a business which was basically to be a vendor for the British garrison. And this is another lesson that we have learned, and we always cherish and tell all our staff and children and grandchildren of the family about, is what happened with my grandfather. So he was invited to be there at 6 a.m. in the morning. British, today the current Army School campus on Kamraj Road is where the British garrison was. So he went there and he met the person. But what happened was, he was asked to be there at 6 o'clock. And my grandfather was a stickler for timing. He was reached there at 5:45 a.m. And this is not PM, I'm talking about AM. And the sentry opened the gate at 6 a.m. in the morning. At 6:02, I'm sorry, he opened the gate at about 5:55. And at 6 o'clock sharp, he shut the gate. and there was only my grandfather inside.
Fantastic.
There was nobody else. So he went to meet the commander at that point of time. I don't remember his name. And he said, "Hi, Mr. So-and-so, how are you doing? I'm Mr. N RAO. I've come here for the tender and all of that."
Icons Unplugged is brought to you in association with Born Good, because every icon is either born good or chooses to do good. Choose Born Good's plant-based and organic cleaning products for a cleaner office, a cleaner home, and a cleaner tomorrow.
"Come, Mr. Rao," and he gave him a cup of coffee, tea. Then he said, "Sir, you're giving me coffee, tea. What about the deal? You're not going to talk about it." He said, "Mr. Rao, there is nobody else. You have got the contract because we value time. And therefore, we know that if you value your time and if you're here 15 minutes earlier, you will be the man who will deliver this."
What an interesting insight.
So he got, and I'm telling you, he what he was telling us was he's never made so much money in his life. In terms of, and there were such perfect people to deal with. He would get his payments on time. He would probably import 50% of the stuff because half the things were not available in India. Right from sewing needle to mosquito nets to garments, everything came through him for the garrison for almost a 5-year period. During that time, he built the men's business as well because my uncle was there. He could kind of support him. That's how so that's one of the major pivots that we did. Then subsequently, in sometime in the 1950s, 60s, my dad joined the business. So that point of time, the ready-to-wear business was catching on. And we would take something like 30 days or sometimes even 45 days to deliver a suit. And people didn't have the time to wait. And they would say, "Come on, Mr. Rao, do something." So my dad kind of brought in a small collection of ready-to-wear from Mumbai, and there's a brand called, I think, Four Seasons and Liberty shirts, and they were really fine quality shirts, and we used to sell them like hotcakes. So initially people were wondering, my God, is it going to eat into our tailoring business? But it actually didn't. There were guys who were willing to wait for a few things, and for a few things they wanted it right now. So we were able to combine and sell to the same customer a few ready-made shirts and a suit and a jacket and a trouser to be tailored. So I think that way, that was also a success for us. So it didn't really eat into the tailoring business. And even today we have that philosophy.
Quite a learning that is, because the same customer will want variety also.
Yeah. So even the same continues for today. And then, of course, I already narrated about the fine suits thing, that when I joined the business, we made it a suit-centric brand. And that also was a huge success. So these are all the turning points and challenges that we faced. We were able to come up with, smart thinking and, innovative stuff to manage the business.
How was the online versus offline challenge? Was there ever a time where you felt that probably, online is something which you might have to seriously consider? Or is the category strong enough for, at the end of the day, for the customer to come and, because it's something which has to be customized. The customer has to come to the store. So it's not something which online can deliver. So was it something which, you had to consider, or?
No, see, online is always going to be a challenge for everybody today. It's not just for us. So, you can, if you want something quick, you will go to online. So like for the restaurants also, you got now Swiggies of the world that, can send you food to your house, but doesn't mean you stop going to a restaurant, right? So similarly for us, and if you want to shop something at N RAO, you will come to N RAO. And if you want to buy something, a t-shirt or a shirt very quickly, and you don't have time to walk into N RAO at that point of time, you will make that purchase online. So, but you still want to resonate, you want to get that experience, you want to come to the store, you want to feel the fabric, you want to get that, not just buying a product. It's a lot more than that. So you want to experience it.
Super. So from a businessman point of view, what is the ultimate compliment you can get? I think what is something which, when somebody comes and tells you, a customer comes and narrates an experience, what is something really makes you very happy?
If we had a 4th generation customer the other day at our store, and I think that made me really happy.
Wow.
So it's so nice to see when you get a 4th generation customer into your store. That means his great grandfather shopped with us, his grandfather shopped with us, his father shopped with us, and now the kid who's probably came to make his graduation suit shopping with us. So I think that was something that really made me happy. To note that we have got that brand pull and the capability and the craftsmanship to still bring those family members here again.
This is exactly what it means to transit generations.
Yeah.
Fantastic. There's always a dilemma whether one should take up their passion as a profession or not. So was tailoring or whatever you're doing currently, was it a passion which became a profession, or was it vice versa?
Oh, for me, I'm in love with tailoring. In fact, if you look at my LinkedIn profile, I call myself as a bespoke specialist.
Acha?
Yeah. So that's, and I take a lot of joy in learning about tailoring, and I learn every day. In fact, I learned my pattern making from one of our most senior masters called Pete Saab, and he's with us even till today for more than 55 years in our company. And I learned from him, and during COVID, I relearned it again, the entire practice from Lalubai, who's my mentor from Mumbai. And I travel a lot, and incidentally, I'm also the secretary for the Master Tailors Association of India.
Fantastic.
And I do a lot of work. We attend a lot of meetings of tailors all over the country. So Master Tailors Association of India is a member of World Federation of Master Tailors. So we have events every year that happens at an Asian level and at a world level. And we also do interesting stuff like, for example, recently, we attended PT UOMO, about 8 or 10 members. And I designed a tour along with other members of the fraternity to visit this PT UOMO, which is a complete style place for men. And also, we took the opportunity to meet up with Gaetano Alosio, who is one of the world famous tailors in Rome. And he's also the president of the Master Tailors Association, World Federation of Master Tailors Association.
Interesting.
And we went to his studio, and he showed us the way he does his work, and the kind of fabrics he uses, and the kind of materials that he uses, and his cuts. And we spent about 1.5 days with him.
Wow.
It was an absolutely mind-blowing experience for a guy like me, and of course all of us from India that were there. And just to give you an inkling, his suits, basic suit price is at about 9 lakh rupees.
Wow.
And he has got people who will order 25 suits in a year. So he's got the presidents of the African countries, the presidents of the European countries making suits to Eastern European largely, and he makes clothes for them. And the processes and systems that he has evolved and the craftsmanship that he has got is something that a lot to take away from. And these are the kind of things that we do, and we all go and understand. I've done a study of Savile Row. I've been to visited all the stores on Savile Row. And Huntsman is one of my favorite tailors, and I spent about almost 2 hours with them. And I saw the pattern of Gregory Peck on the wall, and it was some moment for me. And so the way they work and the way they have their processes, I learned a lot from them. And then of course to the World Federation of Master Tailors, where every year or two I make it a point and go and attend these events where there are training sessions, where you meet up with the best in the world and you understand the nuances from them. I don't understand the Korean language or the Italian language, but the tailoring language is the same everywhere. And I think that's where the culture sets in, and that's where my interests are. And I'm so passionate about all of these things that I don't mind going and spending a week there and understanding the stuff. And of course, there are a lot of things that we can bring home and, try and implement them in our store, and use these experiences to improve our services, train our own staff. And there was a time when I took one of my masters and went to Italy, and he got trained a little bit. So there's a lot of things that's going on. And luckily for me, it was a passion, or rather, I became a passion. I joined the business, and I then realized I liked it. It's not something, it's like an arranged marriage, if you can understand it. So,
Put so well.
Yeah. So, I really loved what I was doing, and I got to love it more and more. And so that's why I don't mind spending as much time on it.
So, which according to you is the most stylish country in the world?
Italians, by far. Yeah, they have a thing called sprezzatura. So sprezzatura means that I just create my own style in my own way.
Wow.
So that's what it's all about. And if you go to the Italians, and I've actually gone to a friend's house and have, he's not a very well-to-do guy by Italian standards, but he's a modestly well-to-do guy. And if you go into his home, which is a nice, beautiful apartment, he has got just probably 40 items in his cupboard. Compared to generally, if I go to an Indian house, you'll have full of clothes.
True.
But he's not like that. He has got maybe about 6 or 7 suits, 2 or 3 blazers, and maybe just about 12 trousers, which includes denims. And then he's got about maybe 40 shirts, including t-shirts. And he's got about 12 pairs of shoes. Okay, all of them have been chosen well. They are not cheap. Whatever he has bought, they are more than his what he can afford actually. But he buys them one at a time. He plans his purchases so well that he gets the best jacket, but he waits for it.
Less is more.
This is more philosophy.
Wow.
And the way they create and the way they mix and match. So he buys the stuff because he knows I've got a beige trouser and this shirt will go along with it and that jacket will go along with that shirt. Because he doesn't have to remember the whole wardrobe, because his whole wardrobe is down to less than 70 pieces. But when I go to Indian house wardrobe, I'm not saying everybody's like that, but generally most of us are like that, including me. I'm putting myself in that basket. We've got too many things.
Yes, I agree.
So if the same amount of money we spend on carefully chosen stuff, you will have a lot more in your wardrobe. You'll look much more better. You will feel much more better. But obviously, you will spending your per piece spend will be a lot more, but your overall spend on your wardrobe will come down. So the Italians, by far, their thought process on dressing well, what to wear, is just fabulous. I'm talking about the men here. I mean, I'm not really observed the women too much. They are fairly couple of levels off than the rest of the world.
There's a lot to learn there.
The Brits are good, but they're too stuck up. They're too
snobbish.
Why not say snobbish? Probably the dressing sense makes them look snobbish, but they're actually not. But their dressing is very stiff, and the Italians are more relaxed, and the fabrics, for whatever reason, are more softer. And maybe the weather is also like that. I'm not sure if that's got a thing to be play. Yeah, but that's, for me, the Italians by far are.
Which are the Indian brands, or for that matter, do you see Indian luxury brands going global?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You can already see, I think Sabyasachi has already gone global, and of course, he's an iconic designer. But I think there is scope for a lot of us, when I'm saying us, including N RAO, to expand the business internationally.
Fantastic.
But of course, I mean, you have to be surely firm-fitted in your local space, then try to jump outside, is what my thought process is. And I'm really proud to see that, a person like Sabyasachi has gone abroad and met with success as well. And I think it gives everybody a lot of hope, not just designers, but, brands, Indian brands, to go outside. So I think we're making a good amount of dent in the Gulf and the Middle East. And there are other potential options in Africa and all of that. But in terms of N RAO going outside, I think it will happen. It's a matter of time, but we would like to first kind of be firm-footed in India, and until we look outside really for the time being.
Quite a mature response that was. Yeah. How much of Bengaluru is there in N RAO?
I mean, N RAO is Bengaluru, if you ask me. So I think there's a whole lot of Bangalore. And, recently when we did our 100-year celebration, when we had our 100-year celebration, the one thing that we realized, and we wrote a book to commemorate that 100 years, while writing that book, I think the one thing that we realized is that there's so much of Bangalore in N RAO. In that sense, the way we are as people, the brand, what it represents, the simplicity, the humility that we try to educate all our employees, and including the family members. The learnings from, if you look at Bangalore, it became initially, thanks to the weather and things like that, it became an educational hub. And then thanks to the being the educational hub, we got a lot of, for example, a lot of the Christian institutes that brought in, your Josephs, your Bishop Cottons, your
Christ.
all of these schools, Christ, and everybody came in. Colleges came in, engineering colleges came in, and obviously fueled by all of this, you get a lot of the public enterprises. You got HAL, you got BEML, you got BHEL, you got BEL, you got all of these coming to Bangalore. Now, that wasn't really because of the weather. That was because you had the talent. And then slowly, all the IT companies who actually probably started in Pune, for example, Narayan Murthy started Infosys in Pune in the beginning. Wipro, of course, was with Azim Premji, I think, started always in Bangalore. They moved their office, Infosys moved their office to Bangalore because there was talent. And the talent was there because initially you had the weather, then you had the schools and colleges, and then you had public sector units. And then all of Bangalore attracted the, intelligent people. And that became the base for foundation. And that's when you got the Infosys and the Wipros of the world growing out of Bangalore.
Very interesting perspective you shared. I think it's important how everything fell into place, to make Bangalore whatever it is.
Yeah, and thanks to that, and we grew also along with Bangalore. And today, thanks to Bangalore and the kind of clientele that we have, and the well-wishers and the people who cheering for us. We have so many cheerleaders cheering for us that we are actually blessed and grateful. And today we are present in Chennai, we are present in Hyderabad, we recently opened a store in Hubli, we are shortly going to open a store in Coimbatore, and all this can happen only through the blessings of our customers and vendors.
So once it goes pan-India, there's so much of potential of going international as well.
Yeah, and the other way of looking at it is there is so much of opportunity here in India. So why? What's the need to go abroad?
Yeah, quite an interesting perspective. Yeah. You would agree it's been a beautiful ride so far. But for a moment, if you were to consider that if you hadn't gone ahead with your family business of N RAO, what would have been the alternate option for you?
Yeah, I know. Once I was really so when I joined the business, just quite early, in the middle, I thought I should try something different. At some point of time, I felt that maybe we should diversify, and I was very interested in starting a radio channel.
What are you saying? Brilliant.
Yeah, and a phrase that kind of resonates with you, but yeah. So that's something, and I did some kind of homework. So I went and met the that point of time a director of All India Radio, which was opposite the post office.
Yeah.
The GPO opposite that, they had their office there, and I went and met the gentleman. I don't recollect his name right now. I went and met him, and then All India Radio was the only station at that point in time. Ceylon, I think, was there, but we couldn't really do anything about that. And when I went and met there, and I was a little disappointed with the kind of airing opportunities that were available. So though he did agree to give me a slot of 30 minutes sometime during the midday, after a few rounds of meetings, and the entire show was on music. Obviously, it was on music filled with talking about personalities and what they would like and things like that. Little bit ahead of its time also, I guess. And that's something they wanted to do. And then they said, I'll bring in 30 minutes. And then he told me that you have to pay for the airtime. And that's what I was like, listen, I'm going to come up with a show and I'm going to start something. Why would you want me to pay for the airtime? And why don't you try to help and get some sponsors and things like that? But I think eventually, the bureaucracy and the so many elements of layers of things that, it didn't really work out at that point of time. And there was only All India Radio then. There's really no other place for me to go to.
Yeah, this was much before the FM revolution.
Much before, much. I'm talking about 1990s.
Yeah. Like you rightly said, you were much ahead, when it comes to the times. But I think the timing is even now not very different, because Indian radio scene is even challenging very now, because still you've got only music radio and a lot of government regulations, definitely. So, but at any given point of time, if you feel like starting something on the content part, now that FM bole to Faiz Mohammed for you.
I still remember. In terms of our personal connect, you being with Radio 1, and what a great time we had, putting things together. Very nice.
And being a patron of N RAO on radio has been fantastic. And being a part of your journey as well. being a part of your success story has been fantastic. Couple of personal questions. What are your hobbies other than your tailoring and probably a little bit about music?
Well, I like fitness a lot. So I've been in the last 10 or 15 years always some sort of a fitness regime.
Yes.
And I used to be running at one point of time. So I mean, running as a hobby and not as a profession. So I used to do a lot of 10 kilometers. I've done a half marathon and adventure. Not like I used to like adventure. Unfortunately, not much of time available for that. I used to like hiking, and I've done skydiving, for example, in Australia. So I like to experience travel. These are my go-to hobbies right now. So fitness, experience travel, and rock music. My God, I just love rock music. I'm so disappointed the Scorpions cancels the show. I'm sorry I have to say that over here, but but it was something that I think I resonate a lot with, and my day kind of starts and ends with rock music. So that's something I take a lot of inspiration from. Not I wouldn't say inspiration, a lot of good vibes from that culture. So yeah, so I mean, my hobbies like fitness, travel and experiences, and good music.
Let's do a quick rapid fire. I mean, to bring out an interesting aspect of your personality. Suit or blazer?
Blazer.
Classic or contemporary?
Classic for me.
Black, gray, or navy?
Navy, but today the lot more. I prefer browns.
Actually,
out of the three, navy, but my go-to color is browns.
They say that once you go black, you never go back. but but nevertheless, one style secret or style tip which every man should follow according to you.
Don't copy anybody else.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And one Indian, probably whose style you look up to.
Amitabh Bachchan has to be on the list, of course. And I like Shahid Kapoor, I think he brings out that nice charm, and it's not over the top. He's very understated, classic. Shahid Kapoor for me.
Fantastic. So there's a very interesting question I have for you. Imagine if your grandfather would be to look from the heaven, and if they would look at P N Rao as a brand, what would he think?
Well, I think he'll be proud of what we have done, and I hope he is. I think he'll be proud. Yeah.
And what is something which you want the future generation of your grandchildren or people in the in the next generation to do for P N Rao?
See, I think they should bring in their own touch. I don't know if I would want to tell them what to do. But having said that, giving them broad advice and guidance in, making them grow the business, maybe bring an alternate line. And there's so many opportunities out there today for the younger generation. That would be my advice. One A is build the brand, what is already there, take it to the next level. And two is you have a chance to diversify as well in terms of other areas. Like there are so much opportunities for casual wear as a segment, even in tailored spaces.
Interesting.
So that's something that we can. We have something called paradigm stitch that we use. Something that I'm wearing, which is casual, but yet well tailored. So there's a huge opportunity for that to spin off as a business. And then of course you got what Lakshmi is trying to do now, the women's wear. And then, so there's a lot of opportunities for the next.
So how are the next 10 to 20 years looking for P N Rao now, from a style point of view or from a diversification point of view?
Well, yeah, I think if we got a fantastic opportunity out there to burn the road, so to speak, So what we are doing is we're doing something that's never been done before, Faiz. Unfortunately, we don't have somebody to look up to and say, okay, I'll go that route. So if you look at India, so we have 10 stores that offer you bespoke tailoring services in all the 10 stores. And there is nobody in India that has 10 stores that offer bespoke services. Nobody. So we are charting our own path here.
That's fantastic.
So the learning curve is huge. And that's where the opportunity is as well. So because there's nobody else, we can actually shine the light. We can show the way for people, for other people in the bespoke industries. And like I was telling you, because I'm a secretary in the association, I share my thoughts. I share my ideas. I open out and share it with people so that, hey, listen, if the bespoke industry grows, the pie only becomes bigger and P and RAO also benefits. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I don't look at it, oh my God, I'm going to share my ideas with him and he'll go and copy it and then I lose business.
No, not at all.
I don't look at it that way. So we have got the opportunity, like I said, to burn the road and take the business forward, make it grow, make it available in more centers. Because people tell me all the time, hey, listen, why don't you open the P and RAO? Why don't you open the P and RAO here? I said, listen, it's a bespoke brand. I can't just create tailors overnight. I can't create these things. I have to take some time to build it. And that's how this business takes time, but the opportunity is
immense.
In a country like India is immense.
Yeah. As a brand, I've always seen you dance to the tune of a different drummer. I mean, that is something which you've always done. So all the best to you for this. Sir, thank you so much. It's been fantastic talking to you. As a gratitude for you coming, this is a small gift from our side.
Wow. Thank you.
It would be great if you could open it and show it for our audience delight.
Ah, it's a portrait.
It's a beautiful, sketch from the company Sketch the Photos.
Thank you, guys.
They're gifting partner and they are friends. They do great job on the sketching.
Yeah.
I hope you like it.
No, I love it. Yeah, it looks very nice.
We had to find something which matches your style. So Sketch the Photos has done it.
Thank you, Faiz. And I really must say I enjoyed the experience and talking to you. It brought back some really good old memories and nostalgia.
Absolutely.
Thanks for bringing those memories back.
Fantastic, sir. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.